solder this wire on that claw back here. What I did, I lifted that little tab up and I slid that wire underneath that tab and I squished that tab back down on top of it, but we're still going to put some solder on there just to make sure it's got a good connection there. I ran that wire underneath it, although it looks like it's not, but it is. I ran it underneath the claw and then brought it around or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to solder that on there. There we go. That should took care of that. Just that quick and easy. I'm going to leave the back cover off for now until we get the trim arm adjusted correctly. The only way you can do that, you got to get your strings put on. Looks like my camera's on my guitar there. So anyway, that's where we're at with this. Now we're going to string this guitar up. I'll see where it's all set in that once I get the strings on it. And then I'll bring you back in a little bit after I put the strings on. You don't need to watch me put strings on. There's 1,001 videos out there to show you how to put strings on. In fact, I got several videos that show you how to put strings on. And I'm not really pointing this guitar as a beginner guitar. This is more of an intermediate guitar because of the drilling and other things I had to do. And but anyway, I'll bring you back in a little while. Well, all right, I got it all set up. It's playing really good, actually. I got the action set. I got the intonation set. Intonated really good. Again, this guitar has a 12-inch radius. It does not have the 9.5 or 7.5 or whatever Fender uses. I still got to put a string tree up there on the pig head. And I'm getting ready to install the back plate on it. But for a cheap set of pickups, they sound pretty good. I had to drop my treble way down on my amps because they are trebly. But just want to say that every guitar you play has its own voicing, and you have to mess with your amp and set it to make your guitar sound the best that it can. You have to use your tone knobs. I see a lot of guys, they turn them all the way up. Like right now I have these turned all the way up. But I've been messing with them to see how good they do. They do really, really well for these pickups that are in this. And I got some feed and wax on my pick guard here from the screws that we put in it. But anyway, oh yeah, pickup height adjustment. I do it one of two ways. I usually tell people start at a 1/4 inch away from your string, about a 1/4 inch. It's usually about an Allen wrench thickness, and uh, gives you a good starting place. What I like to do sometimes is, like a little while ago, how I adjusted mine was I had it plugged into my amp, and then I screw them up and down and listen for the best tone I can get out of, or sound I can get out of that pickup as I'm screwing with it. And plus, I watch to make sure I don't get it too close to the strings, and because the magnets in some of these pickups will pull on the string. It'll pull you out of tune if you get it too close. So those are some things that I look for um, when setting guitars up. I don't care if it's a Strat, Tele, a Les Paul. I set them all up basically the same way. And but anyway, I'm going to put this back plate on. Let's see, I've got my bridge free floating. You see that? That means it's off of the body. And because I want it free floating, my springs are not all screwed all the way into the body. And I have found this right here. This method right here works great. And some people take these springs and put them out here and make a V shape out of it. And they put one center one in there. But many times I'll put in a 4th string and I'll have 4 springs in there. But I think on this one I'm just going to leave it the way it is. It's working fine just the way it is. And so anyway, I'll talk at you all later. I'm going to go ahead and put that. You don't need to watch me screw this back plate on. All right, the back cover's on. I guess next up will be the sound bites of it. Probably not going to record this for a couple of days. I like another hint or tip, if you guys don't mind me saying, is once you put something like this together, it's probably a good idea to let it rest for a couple of days. Come back to it, tune it back up, check your action, check your bow and your neck and all that stuff before you do anything else to it. And because this neck has never had strings on it before. This body's never had strings on it before. So things are going to give and take a little bit. I call it letting the guitar acclimate to itself. And my jazz guitar has been a total different thing after I let it set for 3 or 4 days. All the fret buzzing that it had when I first set it up is gone. I didn't have to file nothing, didn't have to level anything on that guitar at all. And I suspect this is going to be the same way. As I was playing it, started to develop. As I was playing it, started to develop some buzzing up here on the higher frets. But so I'm going to let it set for a couple of days and let it kind of let everything pull and move, and then I'll recheck it in a day or two, and probably 2 or 3 days, probably after Easter, maybe even, I don't know. But anyway, I really like it. It was playing really good, starting to sound really good. Really started coming into its own when I raised the pickups. When I first fired it up, they were all still flat with the fretboard. It didn't sound good at all. But once you start bringing them up, you can start hearing the tonality of the guitar change. Well, all right, we're going to get back on this project. I bought a different pick guard for it. This is rose gold's closest thing I can get to copper, and it is metal. And that's what we're going to be putting on here. Also comes with a back plate. Of course, like anything custom, none of the holes line up. So what I'm going to do is loosen these strings up, pull that pick guard, and then we're going to put all the pickups in that pick guard. What I'm thinking about doing is taking this chrome cover off so all the pickups are black, and then we'll take you in from there. I was going to show you a little trick on how to get your knobs off an easier way than prying them off. I'll bring you back in just a bit. Okay, here's a tip of the day. You take an old t-shirt, cut it off, stick that in it, wrap it around, and just start pulling up on that. And it pulls that cap right at the knob right off of there. Just set it aside. So anyway, you just take that and you try to slide it up underneath that knob, just like that. Pull it on around that knob. Take your rag, pull that on around, twist that around, make it tight as you can, and just start pulling upwards and wiggle it back and forth. And hopefully, if everything's right in the world, it should pop off of there. There it goes. Sometimes it works really easily, and other times like that was a little difficult. All right, I thought I'd bring you all in on this this pick guard I ordered. This hole that's cut in here is not big enough for the pickup with the cover on it. I tried to take the cover off, but I was unsuccessful getting that solder off the back of that. So what I did is I ordered a new pickup for it, and without a cover. What I ordered was a Wilkerson M Series humbucker for this with no cover on it. It's in black, kind of like this one, but I don't want to use this pickup because it's a dead pickup. You'll see it fits in that hole, so it should be fine. I shouldn't have to modify the pick guard at all. Yeah, this was a custom-made pickup for me that's gone dead, and the manufacturer won't do anything about it. They didn't even want me to send it back to them so they could see if they could figure out what's wrong with it. So I'll never buy from them again. So anyway, all I'm going to do today is I'm going to clip this pickup off the switch here. I think I just unsoldered this one. So all you got to do is you got to follow your wire. This wire right here. You seen that on there? See where it solders onto your switch. Unsolder that. Just like that. But up here where it connects to the ground, I'm just going to clip it because it's they've got them all bunched together there and soldered together. So easiest way to do that is just go ahead and clip it off. Make sure your other wires are out of the way because you don't want to clip them all. So you dig down in there, find that where it's grounded. Clip that ground wire. Well, clip that other wire off with it. And there you have it. You got your pickup loosened from it. This is actually a fairly nice feeling pickup. I mean, it sounded okay. It's just that it won't fit my pick guard. So I like those Wilkersons, and so we'll be putting that in its place here. And thinking about go ahead and putting all this stuff in the pick guard. Yeah, a while ago you wouldn't come off there. There's what that looks like without the cover. But just ceramic magnets, but they're fine. You know, they sounded okay when I had it up and playing. Unfortunately, I didn't get a sound of it when I had it all together. So there's going to be a part 5 to this. I'm just going to put these in its place, and I'm waiting on the pickup. It won't be here for another day or two. And then once I get it, I'll put that back. I'll put that in place. I'll probably bring this back in on a part 5. And in part 5, this thing will be back together and playing again. And then I'll do a sound video of it on part 5. And I'm sorry for the delay, but I was waiting for this to come in. It was Easter weekend, and I was out of town, and a lot of things have gone on, and since the weekend, and as you all know, I've been struggling with my health, and I have not been in the best of health lately again, and doing what I can when I can. So, but if you want to watch, I'll go ahead and start putting this back together on camera so you can see how it goes back together here. Now the neat thing about this kit was the pickups came with the springs on them, not with them little rubber deals that so many people use, the surgical stuff, you know. These were for the humbuckers, and these shorter ones are for the single coils. See, there's a size difference in them. And so we'll use these little ones. Let me pull them all out here. There's those two. There's those two. And that should do it for that. And those others I'll save for the humbuckers. So what I like to do is take your screw, hold the spring, of course. Take a screw, set it in place, put your spring on it. It's your choice. You can put them on that way, or you can put the narrow end up front. Just depends on the person installing them. So anyway, this will go in here. Hopefully. Hardest part about getting the pickup in is getting the screw started, right? There we go. I'm also thinking about changing the tone caps in this. I think if I looked at that right, it had 022s in it. And I have a couple of 033s I'd like to put in there. So I may end up doing that here for too much longer here. I hope everybody had a good Resurrection Sunday. Some call it Easter. We had a really good time with our daughter and our grandkids. We have 11 grandkids, and I don't know how many great carrying kids now. We got several around. I just don't ever get to see the great ones. And it's just a part of life, the way things go these days. All right, as you know, I built 2 other kit guitars. I built that jazz kit guitar. They call it Susie Q. The one my wife put together is called Nan, because that's her nickname. Her name is Nancy. And this one, I'm going to call it Trish. And that is Nancy's other sister's name. Susan, or Susie Q, is the other sister. And I've known them for most of our lives now. And I just thought, well, I'll just follow the theme right along, and we'll just name this one Trish. And so now I'll call these guitars the Three Sisters. And it's kind of funny. I can see how the personality of each guitar fits the personality of the ladies, and it's kind of fun. And I love my daughter, my sister-in-laws, a whole bunch, and they're all pretty cool ladies. So I decided to go ahead and reuse these pots and stuff. They seem to be working fine. I don't see no reason to change them out and all that. So that's what we're going to do, hopefully. Although I may change them out, because you see how big them holes are? Well, those are 500K. I was thinking they're 250K. There it is. Now all we got to do is wait on that humbucker to come in. And I'll put that in place. Well, this is going to be it for part 4. Posting the part 5. And in part 5, it'll be a done playing guitar. I'll have the string trees put in. And this will be put in. And if I do change out the tone caps, I'll show that in part 5. And but anyway, I think it's looking pretty good, pretty sharp there. I think something different. I get tired of the same old, so that's why I elected to put this pick guard on here. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys later. You all be at peace, and be looking for part 5.